Our heart should have a sincere yearning to pray to Allah and glorify Him. Prayer in Islam means outpouring of our heart to our great Creator, a sense of faith in a power higher than oneself for help and guidance, humility in the presence of power, hope for the mercy, hope for mercy and a feeling of repentance and regret for omission and commission constitute the real essence of what prayer in Islam. So prayer is compulsory under all circumstances. It has been enjoined by the Lord that every mature Muslim must pray 5 times a day. In his command of chapter 2, verse 43, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, and establish prayer and pay the zakat, the full. So now I begin with explaining to you the preparation. Now this is the level of layman. This prayer that we're going to learn now is the level of a layman, which means to say you are just praying based on Shari'iyah. Based on Shari'iyah means what is being stated here, this is what you do. If you want to be going further, then you need to come for a further course. That one we will try and improve once we completed this one. That is known as the prayer of the Khawas. Khawas is generally speaking higher than the normal layman level. They are higher than the layman level, and this is not my statement. It's based on the command of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala to see the difference between the layman prayer and the Khawas prayer. Allah mentioned in chapter 8, verse 2 and 4. إنما المؤمنون الذي إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادت إيمانا وعلى الله ربهم يتوكلون الذين يقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون أولئك هم المؤمنون الحق لهم درجات عند ربهم ومغفرة ورزق كريم. صدق الله العظيم. So it's Allah who says that إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِي, verily the true believer. So the true believer is not a Muslim. They are known as a mu'min for the male and mu'mina for the female. The true believers are those whose heart hear when Allah is mentioned. So this is where, as I said, that makes a lot of difference between a Muslim and a mu'min based on this chapter. So Allah is going to say, and if you want to know whether you are a mu'min or not, when the revelations of Allah are recited unto them, they increase and strengthen their faith. And to trust in Allah, establish the prayer and stand of what Allah has bestowed upon them. These are real believers. That is what it means here in this verse. أولئك هم المؤمنون حقا. They are the real mu'min, or the really believers. For them a high degree. So if you want to have this degree without going to the national university, to get this degree from Allah, the forgiveness and honorable provision. So be a mu'min. Be a mu'min. Okay. To be a Muslim at the Sharia level, this is what you are required to do. These are the physical preparation. As you know, Islam, in fact, until the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, if it is not imposing difficulties onto you, I will make you use the miswak every time. If it is not a burden. So this is the reason why you need to understand the command of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is not a command that benefited him. Normally in every of his command, it has a lot of beneficial for us. So we are not to just take it very lightly, like a command of a sage. We should rather be thinking that we should be believing or should be listening to the command wholeheartedly. first he taught us to be, of course now you have donkey, monkey, forget, whatever gate that you want to use, go ahead lah. Okay? It is modern time, but if you want to still use the miswak, you still be getting the reward. So in this way, you can avoid many diseases. The purpose, as you can see, that even in using of the siwak, or this is what I meant earlier, that you can see the command of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to protect us, because whatever he command you, it has benefit in it. Like this one here, the brushing of teeth is to avoid many diseases which are caused by unclean teeth, bad breath. Then what? Now you want to use what? Colgate, as I said just now, is up to you lah. What is commanded is the siwak and miswak, and this is already proven scientifically. They do research. There is a lot of what you call it, inside the fluoride inside the toothpaste. I mean inside the miswak, there is fluoride inside. Research has been done, so it's up to you. You want to change miswak to something else. But just be more cleaning in using this toothstick. Don't just put it on your pocket until you brush it. It looks very, very unhygienic. But now they have even come up with this one that comes with a case, where you can put it so neat and so nice. See, they even the usage of this one also keep up with time. At least they come out with something. So the use of this toothstick is meant on purifying, and this is what Allah pleases. It pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use it. As we know, right, even among us, if we have not spoken for a while, when you open up your mouth, you can spoon, some, they say, you can actually, the smell of the stomach, nothing about anybody's having a smelly mouth. No, it's natural. It's a natural thing. That is the reason why, and it pleases Allah for us to always be cleansing our mouth. Prophet Muhammad also said, which means, if I wouldn't have felt that it is difficult for my people, I would have ordered them to use the miswak with every prayer. So that is very inconvenient to some, right? But it's sad to know that this is a very useful thing. Even non-Muslim practices this. If you have colleagues who are non-Muslim, who are very hygienic person, or other, who likes to practice cleanliness, you'll find that they bring their own toothbrush, and after lunchtime you see them in the restroom brushing up. It's sad to say that Muslims create this as like a big problem, like bringing a big tree inside the pocket. So as you can see here, the Prophet said that if it is not difficult, he would order us to use the toothpick for a prayer and before doing each wudu. That shows there is a lot of there's a lot of hidden things in the brushing of the tooth. So you know that the tooth has connected to the eyes and the brain. Then making intention for the wudu before starting, we know the action of wudu it is necessary to make the intention, and make intention that the act of performing wudu is for the purpose of purity. This one you already know, I suppose. I don't have to go into detail, right? So intention is known as niyyah in Arabic, should be made in the heart. Okay? It is not the utterance of nawaitul husla or nawaitul rafa'al hadathil azhari billahi ta'ala. That is not niyyah. That is known as talaffuz bin niyyah. Talaffuz bin niyyah. Okay, remember this. The intention should be in your heart. As long as it goes in your heart when you are in the toilet, when you are washing your face, and this way you state the intention. So niyyah by word is not approved by Prophet according to this book. But nevertheless, most of the scholars say is sunnah. Okay, to say, to verbalize the intention is a sunnah. In the Shafi'i school, but down here, as you can see, this is the Hanafi school. They say this words is not approved by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you take the one that I taught you is just to state the intention and to verbalize it is a sunnah. So begin with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There's in the hadith that every act, of course, it's a good act, of course, not the bad one that you say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To box people, you say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Cannot be done. All the good things that you're doing, you begin with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now, action for the performing of the ablution, wash the hand up to the knees, making sure that no part of the hand is left. Right. Rinse the mouth, taking out water with the right hand. Clean the nose, sniff water up from the right mouth, then eject water with the left hand. Wash the face from ear to ear. So this is where they measure the length of face. Because if it is not mentioned here, then like this, it doesn't cover the face. Like this is your bleaching now. This is Piramli movie. Okay? So you must know the area of what face is. So from the right earlobe to the left earlobe, that's the width. The length is from your the forehead right up to your chin. These are all known as face. Women are very good at this. They should know what it is. For men, they don't know. Because they do not put makeup, they do not put something cleanser, so they don't bother to be thinking of when you talk of a face, they apply the Piramli style. Then wash your forearms, right forearm first up to the elbow, make sure that no part of them is left dry again. Bend your head, bend your fingers, and then wipe the head with your fingers, starting from the forehead as I showed you, like this. If you have long hair, you cannot take from the back. Then must be from the forehead, from the must be here. Cannot take it. You long hair, you take from behind. Taking them to the nape of the neck, then bring them back to the forehead. Like that. Bring it back to the forehead. Okay? Then use your ears by inserting the tips of your index finger. Index finger, you should know which one, don't go with the big one. The index finger. This one must explain. If you don't explain, they use something else to. This is the problem with us. Then twist them around all of the ear. This is where the tongue goes in. Behind the ears, from bottom. And this is where, again, today you know about children suffering from what? What do you call it? Which one? HMME. ND or whatever. You can see that if you have done this, you will not be affected by this. Is it? Then wash your feet, right foot first up to the ankle, making sure that no parts of the feet are left dry. Okay? Now this is based on the command of from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning on how to clean. Okay? If you follow the Quran, you will find that there is only 4 parts that needs to be washed. Are you with me? If you follow the Quran, there is only 4 parts that needs to be washed. That is the reason why there will be a lot of problems if Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not show us. Because of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has shown that you cannot be quoting the Quran to say, well, the Quran only asks you to wash for why addition of this and that. Okay? Now this is mentioned in chapter 5, verse 6 of the Quran. Allah command us when you want to be doing prayer, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu idza kuntum ila salah فَاسْلِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرْفِقِ وَامْسَحُوا بِرُءُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ وَإِن كُنتُمْ جُنُبًا فَاطَّهَّرُوا. So that is the command. O you who believe, when you rise up for prayer, wash your face and hand up to the elbow, lightly wipe your head and wash your feet up to the ankle, and if you are polluted, purify yourself. That is from the Quran. And then when you go into the hadith, is where you what we are going through just now is coming from the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if you go to read the Quran literally, then you will find there will be a lot of argument. Although that is very clear, right? There's not a certain hadith. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu idza kuntum ila salat fazhilu wujuhakum. Even if you want to argue, if you are a literalist, if you're a person who are very particular about linguistic, right? Then you will be posing a question to say that what does Allah mean by Ya ayyuhallazina amanu idza kuntum ila salat fazhilu wujuhakum? Where is wujuhakum? What are the measurement of the face? Because that verse does not explain as the way I told you just now. The washing of the face must be from the forehead, right up to the chin, the right middle to the left middle. That's why you need Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to exemplify, to emulate from what he did. So this is what we meant by following the Quran and Sunnah. Okay? Then come to the special facilities in ablution. This is like I did bring up this sock that you can be using, rubbing the sock with the wet hand instead of washing the feet. This is allowed in Islam, provided that the sock has been put on after the performing after the performance of the ablution, including washing of the feet. If you want to be wearing them, there's a special kind of I don't know what you call it. Here it is mentioned as soft. But it's like a ninja shoe. Normally it's wear in a country where it's very cold. Next time I bring our shoe. This is allowed for 24 hours. Right? In case if your wudu become invalid, you need not to remove the shoe. You retake again the wudu and then just wipe the shoe with with water on top of it. You don't need to remove your this ninja shoe or socks. Huh?
Good for any people.
Yeah.
Good practical.
So this is allowed for 24 hours because definitely after that you need to be going to the toilet, this and that. Cannot be that you're holding more than 24 hours. There must be something wrong with your pipe. Okay? It's only allowed within the 24 hours. Or maximum if you really are the person, if you are on a journey, if you are travelers, right? This is again especially if it is during winter in Saudi Arabia, I personally will be practicing this. I will put on this, they call it kufa in Arabic. It's a kind of a shoe that can be worn. So if it is like really winter in Medina, especially, I will be wearing this for 3 days. This is if the person is on a journey when you become a Musafir. After this time, the feet must be washed. Similarly, if there is a wound in any part of the body which has to be washed in ablution, and if washing that particular part is likely to cause harm, then it is permissible against the wife. This is like your cast, bandage or whatever. Like, you don't put water inside after that you jump like a monkey. Then you blame the religion for not where actually you can see all you need to do is just to come to class to understand. There's an hadith here by Mughira ibn Shu'bah where the Prophet ﷺ said, which means perform ablution and wipe over the sock and the sandal. So this becomes the dalil, or rather this becomes the evidence from the Quran referring to the Prophet did the action. And this, as you can see, narrated by all these muhaddithin that is well known, we know, Imam Ahmad, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud, and Ibn Majah, rahimahullah alayhi. So each detail of this ablution has been performed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have the choice of once, twice, or 3 times. Up to you. You need to practice if you want to be using some of these way on how to wash by taking the 500 ml mineral water. You have to practice to use this one water. Then you see whether are you okay. Because you must what needs to be very what you need to be very careful is your doubt. The moment you have doubt, then that's it. Your doubt must be clear. You should not be having any doubt. Kena yakin lah, tak yakin tengok ni bila nak ada dulu. Okay, there's no need also to go and check whether chair never open and go in. Okay, there is a mind, you can repeat it once, twice, or thrice. Except rubbing of the head, cleaning of the ears, the action can be done 6 and 7. The rest should be either one, twice, or thrice. Yes, yes, I mean.
I have to ask something.
Sure.
I think last week you mentioned something like that we do not waste water.
Ah.
So it's possible to use the running tap or water that we can take from the table.
It's a very wise question. Unfortunately, it's supposedly to be in a bowl or like doing every day, use a pail. But I don't think so. Singaporeans are used to that. This is the issue of living in a very luxurious country. No more known as a third world war country. Singapore now becomes like that's why you see it's very scary. I'm telling you, it's very scary. So far we have heard so many calamities that has been caused to other countries. I'm very scared of Singapore. I want to say goodbye to Singapore soon. It's very scared because people are very arrogant. They forgot that there will be time when you will be tested. Then I tell you, majority will not pray because they have problems of doubt. I mean, even you see most Muslim house, I haven't checked his house. I have to check if they toilet. We don't have toilet roll. It's a sunnah to be using the toilet roll before using water. Because again, Islam talks about hygiene. How could you be touching and playing with your kisses with your finger? How can you use your finger to touch your where is dacha or rainbow or is it? That should not be the case, right? You should be cleaning it. You should wipe it first with a tissue, then you use water. But again, you see, we are not used to this kind of thing. We used to tease the Chinese for not being clean. Actually, they follow the Sunnah. They are doing the Sunnah and we are not doing the Sunnah. We are playing with the pieces. To see someone can see, check anything on the finger. Alhamdulillah. So, I mean, of course, it's wise. If you can be practicing lesser, is the best. The least water that you use in the wudu is the best. But as I said, there's no you need to clear your conscience. You cannot be having that. Once you are doubtful, then you need to retake that. So that's why there are options given once, twice, and thrice. Normally, 3 times is more than enough. I mean, this is the practice of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you can choose. If you follow the Quran, just now the Quran did not repeat. Did not ask you to repeat. From the verse that I read just now, right? Very clearly you can see Allah command Ya ayyuhallazina amanu idza kuntum ila salah fahdilu wujuhakum. He didn't say Ya ayyuhallazina amanu idza kuntum ila salah fahdilu wujuhakum salah samara. No, he didn't say that. The Quran didn't add the word salah samara in Arabic 3 times. It does not add that. So that's why you are given an option. Only Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we knew that maybe in our time we have abundant of water. We will be using this water in wastage. So that's why he said that you repeat it 3 times. But if you can practice the lesser, is the better. He said like nikah, You see now their nikah, I don't know what I did doing with so many Allah. You know how much they spend? Some spend 80,000, some spend 40,000, 30,000. Actually, the lesser, the better. Now the nikah market rate, somebody can tell you market rate $10,000. What do you mean by market rate? You're selling human or what? Human trafficking, is it? So this is, I don't know, I can't answer if you were to ask me how come. I can't answer that. It's human that have added or all these things and then it becomes something that is not permissible in the religion. So since all the above methods need Prophet Muhammad approval, we can perform a mission by doing the action once, twice, or thrice, provided that no plant has been there. Right. That is the idea. That's why I said it's not good to practice using one mineral water, 500 ml. You see that? When I was in Makkah, even during my time when I went for Hajj, water are very expensive. You can't afford to be wasting water. So that's why we practice to use the 500 ml to take wudu. Only one. Enough. 500 ml is enough. Otherwise, you make the 2 liter 10 or maybe 5. You are the type. That's 10 water. 1 liter one. Okay. Then Amal. Yeah.
Then it's the Quran and the Hadith. What if, let's say, given a situation that we didn't have time, or sometimes like Juma, you come late, then the place is filled, then you cannot. Can you perform the prayer with it being accepted or not?
Without wudu. No one can say that it will not be accepted. Because that is not human authority. Human are not the authority. Because what is more important is Islam has already a system of you should be knowing. I mean, as we know that Islam is a religion that already have their own timetable or schedule, the day-to-day schedule, weekly schedule, monthly schedule. So you should be able to meet with that. If you can't, then you leave that matter in Allah. Just do and leave the matter in Allah. Because Allah is the one that can say whether whatever you do is being accepted or not. No one else. It's very dangerous for human to be tempting with Allah Ta'ala's law. Who are we to say no? So that's why we have the Sufi. Sufi are the one that always say that Ya Rasulullah, Allah will inshallah. Because Allah is very merciful, gracious, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. This is very important to learn the 99 names of Allah. It's not just name, but it is described to you the Rahman of Allah where no one in this world can copy.
One thing about the wudu, they say that the water that trickle down is be used.
Cleansing of your Musamman.
Okay.
There are differences of opinion among the scholars about that. Regarding the Musta'mal. What they mean Musta'mal cannot be reused for another wudu. That is the Musta'mal that they are talking about. Not Musta'mal as in the sense that you drink the water back inside the pail. It's not that, because you need to be knowing that when you talk about the volume, Islam have already given you the Qolatain system. The Qolatain system is in our time will be what is the measurement? I mean anything. The olden days they measured in 14 kerosene tea. That makes 2 Qolatain. Qolatain is referring to the length and the depth of the what do you call it, where the water is being filled. Or now we use pail. Now we use pail. So you need to follow by this measurement your arm length. To put your arm inside, that is the depth. Then the width, also follow the arm length. Then you put the water in. That is known as 2 Qolatain. So if the water drip in there, if the water is more, more than 2 volatile, it's okay.
Let's say the water drip onto, let's say,
Onto you,
we wash the face really, then we wash the
it's okay.
then the water from the face.
Don't want to the heart.
It's okay, yeah.
Okay? If anyone perform action or ablution more than 3 times, he has done wrong. So anything that you exceeded the limit set by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you don't need to be questioning it. Automatically haram. No one can go beyond or above Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No one. Don't ever think. Don't ever think that you can supersede him. No way. Only Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are the doer of everything close enough to perfection. Allah Himself has acknowledged that. That is why Allah recommended us to follow Him. لَقَدْ كَانَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. The Prophet is the best that you can emulate. So which means to say, as I said, that has been made clear that you cannot go beyond. Or in fact, challenging say, oh, the Prophet can only do 3 times, I can do that. That's why it says that is considered as transgress. You have done wickedly. Because you're trying to be more than the Prophet, how can that be? Muhammad is the one that is already perfect and you become more perfect. Huh? Yeah, it's true. But no one can stop you from doing, because, okay, that is a very good question. That's why we need to know history. Why Umar ibn Khattab introduced 23? Because as you can see, if you finish 8 o'clock, definitely I'll see you in Iraq. Right? I mean, you can understand that. I mean, in their country, they also have bazaar. I mean, they have bazaar also. Soup tamar, soup this, soup that, they go so many soups. So that's why it is not transgressive because the beauty. So remember this hadith. Any companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no one should be doubting them either. You should not be doubting them. Because Prophet Muhammad recommended. He says, in one of his sayings, he commands, "Alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnati khulafa ar-rashidin." I command you to obey me and to obey my Khulafa ar-rashidin is referring to Sayyidina Umar, Abu Bakr, Uthman, and Ali, and many more, of course. So it is Umar who introduced, so it cannot be that it is something that's transgressive. Okay, this is the reason why we need to understand the nature of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Has Allah praises him? This is why I said earlier that we cannot be superseded him. Allah praises in the Quran. Allah says, "Lakad ja'akum rasulun min anfusikum." The word there is this statement where actually the attributes of Allah. Lakad ja'akum rasulun min anfusikum. Now this word Azizun. Azizun is one of the attributes of Allah. So Al-Aziz is the conqueror. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this word Allah has recommended and praised him to say that it's the best example. And he's the person, Al-Aziz means he is very concerned of giving difficulties to you. That is the reason why that he only performed the Tarawih 3 days or 3 nights. Or perhaps some narrations it's 4 nights. In Sirah, what did he tell you? 3 nights. After that he died. He's concerned of us. Imagine if Allah says, what day? 23. Na'udzubillah. Habis, Kerala all closed down. That's all closed down. Nobody go. This is why it's also good. Later you will experience this. Alhamdulillah, this year you're joining me to do the Tarawih over there. And there will be 1 night, 1 juzuk. 1 night, 1 juzuk. My wife already start asking me how to stand like that. You stand, you cannot stand, sit lah. What's the problem? That's why sometimes very funny human being. Why are you making things difficult for yourself? Bring a stool, lah. You can buy it and then they supply in fact, you need to buy. You come in, come on, you saw the stool, hey, cannot booking, then you better buy. Don't get some poor people want. So nothing get cursed because of you take somebody's stool. If the person go and have water, come hey, whatever my school doing, then somebody sit over there. So if you cannot, it's a good experience. Good experience to be there in Ramadan. Then you will know. It's almost like they're going to stop almost around midnight because it's one juzuk. Juzuk is very long. Of course, you don't need like yeah, like that. The next morning also cannot finish. Oh, very fast. Most of it they are Quran memorizers, so they read very fast. Not the Tadarus concept. If you read Tadarus, you tell them you sit there and make it. You need to go back and do more sure definitely. So normally, I think close to midnight they finish the Tadarus. But people won't go back. People still want to hang around. Because the calmness. The calmness is the one that makes people want to stay in the premises of the Kaaba. Because I have promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you come in the Kaaba, the first thing you takbir, and then you say, Allahumma hadha baita tashrifan ta'aziman wa mahabbatan. This is a really an honored house, great house. When you look at it, it does not make you become false. I give you 1 hour to just face this wall, you will hit this wall. Unlike Kaaba, different. The longer you look at it, you forgot about your toko, your kucing, your whatever you left behind. Also, even the wife beside you, so you forget. If you look at the Kaaba, you know, the calmness is what we are seeking for in life. Okay, so you should not be doing anything that transgress. Then you have done a wicked deed. At the end of now, in this dua after the ablution, of course, in this dua is where you have tasbih kafar at the end of the dua, because the scholars will always want to know if there's going to be like a reward for them to be doing something, then they will add in something. The adding will be like after Hamadan Abdullah Rasulullah, Allahumma ja'alni min at-tawabin wa ja'alni min at-tahirin wa ja'alni min ibadika as-salihin. Then subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. That is in the school of Shafi'i. The Hanafi don't have that, you can see here. The normal one is good to be reciting this dua because you are bearing witness here. You are bearing witness again to see asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Right? Then this is a dua that you ask Allah to make you among. Allahumma ja'alni. Allahumma ja'alni if you are doing it alone. If you are doing it but normally they use the same thing. Allahumma ja'alni min at-tawabin wa ja'alni min at-tahirin. You ask Allah to make you among those who are penitent and make you among those who are purified. That's what it means. Now, in case of again there is no water, then you source for tayammum. In circumstances when water cannot be found, or just enough, it's available for drinking. In case if you are in a country where water are more expensive than oil, then this is where tayammum becomes applicable. Or because of you are injured and it is going to cause you injuries to your health. You take water. This happened in the late 80s, where I see so many people drop dead because of the heat stroke. Because a lot of people don't understand when you are under the heat of the sun, you should not be giving water and ask the person to drink like a thirsty camel, because the brain is boiling. Heat stroke means the brain is boiling. So imagine you push water in So during the late 80s, I've seen so many of them drop it. because they thought that these guys are very thirsty. Of course, you can see the lips are dry, and then they are breathless. If you push 1 liter of what you call it, mineral water, straight away the guy finished like chicken being slaughtered. So in the late 80s, so many of them they have yet to discover the meningitis vaccination. So we see a lot of people got it because of it. So. But that does not mean that if you have taken the vaccine that you will not be ill. No, it's Allah who decides, not the vaccine. The doctor say the vaccine, but no, it's Allah. So the procedure for tayammum below is given according to the Quran and Sunnah again. This is the verse of the Quran telling us, if you do not have water, then the next is for you to be looking at to do the tayammum. Water cannot be found. Okay? This is based on the hadith. Because it's based on the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu وعن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تقبل صلاة من أحدث حتى يتوضأ أو قال متفق عليه. The hadith is متفق عليه, which means that the prayer will not be accepted from one who needs ablution to keep performed. For this one is the verse of Quran, chapter 6. Chapter 5, verse 6, where it's been mentioned, you can be using the tayammum. You cannot find water. So the tayammum, you can see the verse is shorter than the verse that I mentioned earlier. Okay? You need to, what you need to do in the washing of tayammum is working in this manner. Now I can tayammum. Assume there is dust in this computer. Women are very good at that. Let's check for dust. So you put your hand like this. Now I can tayammum is about the salah. Wipe your face. One. Another one more time. Your right. Your left. That's all. So the tayammum. Don't need to. And don't need to like putting makeup. Then your face becomes like the Cantonese wire. You come on, you put up the phone. Only that. Only two what support. Two plates onto the wherever there is dust. Okay. So this is the beauty, as you can see this verse, Allah tells us Allah does not wish to put you in difficulties, but He wants to make you clean, and to complete His favor unto you. So you should be grateful to Him. Beautiful, isn't it? So this is the substitute of when there is no water. The same thing, the procedure is to make the intention, as I told you just now, to say in English, I intend to perform tayammum to enable me to perform the prayer because of Allah. That's it. Then begin with the name of Allah and strike both palms of hand on clean sand, dance, or anything containing this. Like you can just go to the wall, to the stone, but you need to be selective. In Singapore, we got two-legged animals also peeing on the wall. Not the four-legged, but the two-legged animals also they pee on the wall to do the tayammum down there. So you need to be selective on whose wall and which wall are we talking about. Check it out lah. Okay. You never know, the two-legged they are very naughty. Sometimes they got no place, they just go to any wall, they just spray water onto it. Okay, then finish with the same dua just now above. Allah Jalla dengan Tawabin, Jalla Ibadah, so other procedure include the forearms, shoulders, as well as armpit. These have been transmitted by reputable scholars, but the most preferable authentic is that given. Then it's two parts that needs to be because the rest all they cannot trace who are the narrator. It's reputable, something that they are not too sure. Okay, that's all about wudu. Now we move on to chapter 2 about the prayer. Now, when you want to pray, these are the three things that you need to know. You need to know the time, whether the time is in or on. Then the place, where can you pray, and the dress, types of dress. The time, as we already know, is not, you cannot be the one changing the time and you cannot be the one that giving the time. The Quran again has mentioned, Inna salata kanal mu'minina kitabah mawqut. The prayer has to be enjoined at the stipulated time. So you cannot be changing and say, no, I want to pray subuh at that. That is your problem. Huh? So each salat must be offered at or during its proper time. So they call it in Arabic as salat waqtiyah. Salat waqtiyah means you pray within the stipulated time. You pray subuh at night, and that one is out of the stipulated time. That is your own time, not the time that commanded by Allah Ta'ala. So no prayer can be offered before its time. Okay? I think we know that, right? There are only 5 obligatory prayers in a day. So as you know, in Singapore we used to be calling it as subuh, but in most Middle Eastern countries they call it Salatul Fajr. The morning prayer is known as Salatul Fajr. Then comes the Zohar prayer. I have gone through with you also telling you the name of the prayer done by the other prophets. Remember? Maybe you know? Okay? Who prays Zohar? Who prays Zohar? Remember? Okay, the time for Zohar, as you know, the early afternoon prayer starts when the sun begins to decline from its zenith and when the size of an object shadow is equal to the size of the object. Now this is good if you travel. You can apply this system. If you know how to look for a pole or whatever, an object, in order to know whether it's Zohar on time or not. And this is based on the report coming from Jabir bin Abdullah radiallahu narrated that the angel Jibreel came to Prophet Muhammad and said to him, stand up and pray Zohar. So the Messenger of Allah prayed Zohar, and the sun had declined from its zenith. Then the angel Jibreel came again at the time of Asr and so on and so forth. Now, Isha is the only prayer that was done by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. According to the hadith that I've given you, the name of the prayer came from a different prophet. Subuh is from Adam, Zohar is from who? Huh? Ibrahim. Okay. This is just for our information. Maybe it is not important to be remembering, but it's good to be. I mean, later if you have the children, the child will ask you, who say that you have to play Zohar? They mention of Zohar and this and that. This is in another green book that explains to you where the source is from the Quran. So I don't have to read all this. This is just to tell you how the determining of the prayer timing is not set by a human, but it is set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we can find that many books of Salat state the ending time of Zohar prayer and starting time of Asr, and the shadow of something is twice itself. But this contradicts the above hadith on the first day Jibreel asked Prophet Muhammad the shadow of everything was equal to itself. These are just differences of opinion the scholars debate where we should not get involved in the debate. We are not scholars. There's a note here to say that in countries where due to cloudy weather the sun is not always visible, it is advisable to follow printed calendars giving the accurate time of each prayer. So, according to the Shafi'i school, you follow the nearest or the closest Islamic state. If you are overseas, you follow the closest Islamic state. Because you cannot rely on the printed calendar in different countries because of different time zones, right? So you follow the closest Islamic state. This is where they call it, just now I told you, al-waqtu, that is to pray at the stipulated time, and now it's coming to the, they call it waqtul haram, the forbidden times of it should not be doing the prayer. This is based on the statement from Uqba bin Amr, said there were 3 times at which the Prophet ﷺ used to forbid us to pray or bury our dead. So this is the forbidden time when the sun begins to rise. This is normally after Subuh prayer. After the Subuh prayer, after Shuruk, when the sun begins to rise until it was fully up. Until you already saw the sun, that becomes duha already. In between the Subuh, because remember Subuh there is no Ba'diyah, only Qabliyah. There is a Sunnah before Subuh, but Sunnah after Subuh don't have. So you need to be very careful of that time, because that is the time where Satan and people worship the sunrise. So cannot be coincide with what we are doing. That is the wisdom of why it's known as a forbidden time of praying. Because you normally will see other religions, they will stand in front of their door. They don't do the same thing, okay. Then when the sun was at its height, this is normally after 12 p.m. After 12 p.m. At midday, it passes the meridian. Sorry, I mean after Asar. After Asar. Then when the sun drew near to setting till it had set. It is you are able in Singapore, you are able to see, because we are famous for acknowledging all other religions too. So you are able to see they are doing their prayer on the time that we are forbid to be doing our prayer. I'm talking about Salat, like dhikr and all other things is okay. There is no waqtu haram. For Salat, yes, there is waqtu haram. Forbidden time for you to pray. And this is again forbidden time for the nafal prayer, the sunnah prayer. This is coming from Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, reported by the Prophet ﷺ. No prayer is to be said after the Fajr prayer. I already explained to you just now. This is the hadith. Only nafal prayer is forbidden at this time, but a miss Fajr prayer, that can be offered. You wake up almost, you wake up, the sun already rise now, and then you can gather your prayer immediately. Then wait until midday, then gather. Most of the ulama of the Muslim Ummah allow the offering of the missed prayer after Fajr, Asar, after the Subuh and Asar prayer, because you are doing the obligatory, you are paying back the obligatory. How can you delay? What happens if it doesn't reach Maghrib? You done it already? Then you owe Allah Ta'ala one prayer. So according to the scholars, whatever time you wake up, immediately take the wudu and do your prayer. And this is where they quoted in hadith by Imam Bukhari Muslim, where the Prophet ﷺ said, who has forgotten the prayer, he should pray it whenever he remembers. Then the nafal prayer, the sunnah prayer cannot be offered once the command, the iqamah for the Fardhu prayer has been said. This is based on Abu Hurairah, narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, when the iqamah has been said, then there is no prayer. No prayer valid, the nafal, the sunnah prayer, except the Fardhu prayer for which the iqamah was said. You understand? Yes? Very much? Azan. No, if you already perform, then continue. Because prayer cannot be made unless there is an emergency of which is again accepted by the Islamic legal by Sharia. Then otherwise, yeah, I mean, you need to see the urgency of why. Like for sunnah prayer, if your mother calling, yes, you can break your prayer, but that also with adab, that is to say salam alaikum as you exit from the prayer. It is a subjective thing because this is where we need to be practicing so that we know how to teach. Maybe during the early days when I was so-called young, you can practice the, let's say you select certain chapter of the Quran to know when you should stop. By the time you stop, Azan Isha comes in. The earlier scholars, most of the ulama, that is their practice. They have certain surah, certain chapters that they memorize. They will read it after the Maghrib, after all the Nafal prayer, then they will sing. And let's say like you are the Yasin favorite, the Yasin favorite, meaning that you regularly have been reading Yasin. So you can use that as a time record. You read Yasin. The moment you finish, وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ Allah. Here on already. That is an example of it. For the Sunnah prayer, uh, as I said just now, unless otherwise is something that is an obligation that for you to be answering, then you can be. Otherwise, you just continue.
So that, yeah. Nafal prayer and sunnah is the same, is it?
Different name on
But it's the same sunnah, right? There is like the problem like
Problem, yeah.
and other kinds of sunnah prayers, nazar and all that.
Yeah. We call it Sunnah. The Arabs call it Nafal, Nafila. So this is the problem of the terms that they are not used, we are not familiar. Most, in this part of the region, most are Malay speaking. So everything they translate in Malay. Then when you read real Arabic books, then you get a little bit confused. You know, what are they talking about? We are so used to be knowing as Sunnah prayer, Sunnah prayer. They say Nafal, Nafal. Then because Sunnah, when you say Sunnah, there is Mu'akkad and Ghaira Mu'akkad. And then there will be a problem of understanding. So if you want to say Nafal, that is already called a Mu'akkad. Mu'akkad is a strongly recommended one. So they feel that the 2 raka'at of Sunnah Fajr can only be offered before the obligatory prayer. This one I already mentioned to you. The practice is against congregational philosophy, discipline of congregation, the clear violations of hadith. They should offer the meaning like most of the Sunnah prayer, there is no such thing as doing it in congregation. I don't want to mention some who start there in the country of Singapore. Sometimes they get you, they call it Qiyamul, this mosque will do this, Ustad is living, Tahajjud, Mahajjud, whatever do. Accordingly, there is no mention of any hadith encouraging people to be doing in congregation except for Tarawih. Tarawih and Eidul Fitri and Eidul Adha. That is the one that should be done. And of course, Istighfar, prayer for rain. This one is where you do it in congregation. So don't get too excited when there is mosques on normal days. I'm talking about normal days. They advertise and say, okay, let's ask do the Qiyamul Layl. This mosque want to do Qiyamul Layl. This mosque want to be doing the Tasbih prayer. I mean, there is no hadith stating that you can be doing it in congregation. That's what is trying to share with you here. Even in the Shafi'i school, this practice is against congregational philosophy. Because discipline of the congregation It's a clear violation of the hadith for the nafal prayer. Talking about the sunnah prayer, like the hajjat prayer, you want to do together, istihara, want to do together. Not everything can be together. Sas, no, it's only you yourself. Okay?
But if it's done in congregation, is it considered as is a sin or is haram or it's just neutral?
It is not. So again, in terms of when you talk about halal and haram in Islam, they are great. They are great. They are haram that there is no pardon to it. They are haram that is pardonable. They are haram. I mean, they got the wing of the different types of haram, which I have yet to share with you. This is the study of Usul al-Fiqh. The study of Islamic jurisprudence, sciences of Islamic jurisprudence is where you need to understand. And normally this is not open to the general people for fear of the play with the system. So the haram here is not like a major thing. It's just that for that thing, not why you want to do stop.
The one that I went to, they say that the intention is to do it individual.
Sorry, I think we stop here. So I for the Q&A. Yeah, sorry.
The time that I went, the Imam said that we do it together, but your intention is individual. So you follow the Imam in terms of the action, like you tumpang him, but it is still an individual solat.
Is there any such rule?
I
Is
mean,
that what you're asking?
is it valid for me? I mean,
It's
it
very
okay
funny,
for
isn't
me?
it? You are doing in congregation and then you say every one of you, I should pray on your own. I mean, if you use logic, but then I don't know how the Imam is going to be able to lead you if you are stating your own intention.
I don't know. Maybe the intent is like because we don't usually do it, so when we follow someone, it becomes easier. Might be.
Oh, okay. If you are talking about practicing, that was one of the other reasons I mentioned to you before. I only use some of those days and nights that I had in your house class to practice some of those prayers because this is where it becomes practical later. If an emergency, you are able to do it rather than doing it. Unless like there is an emergency, normally the Mufti will make a declaration for the whole of Singaporean mosques to be doing. Because you cannot gather the whole Singaporean Muslim at the Padang to do a prayer. But we never know. The time will come to do. We have yet to come across this, but we have seen in Malaysia when they were really badly hit by droughts, they had to go out. They have to do it I don't know where at one time where you see them even bringing animal together to do the prayer together. Based on the Quranic verse, it's not that I read to you that everything know their praise and praises. The praise of it. It's not a major issue as I said. But it's good for us to try. I think in Makkah you experience some of the Janazah prayer in group. We are only used to individual. When in group, remember the dua okay? In group then you say Allahumma billahu warhamhu wa'afihu wa'afu only one maya only get. There are maya good. This guy is very stingy. Come, only pray to one janazah. So then you have been taught to Allahumma billahu warhamhu wa'afihu wa'afu wa'afu as an example. Then I remember that time when we had drought, also not drought, but there was no rain in Singapore. The whole mosques do the salat istiqamah. On that day, I kena the imam. Also, because even for me as a teacher, we hardly have that kind of exposure or experience. You know? When it comes, then now I know. But luckily, we keep the text lah. So we know what to do lah. Without that, I don't know. Quickly, I go and find book. After salat istiqamah. You know, Same like if you remember the Janazah course. If you have attended the Janazah course, you may wait, nobody died. The moment you forgot, then some mayat come in, then you start again. This is the problem. Same Ramadan, that's why they need to remind you on the whole day of Ramadan. And tak itu saum ya Allah rahimakumullah. You forgot the intention for Nawaitu saum. And so the Imam had to say. So that kind of prayer is allowed for you to be doing in congregation as a practice.
So in the context of that, the incident I mentioned to, it's possible to do that.
Any other question? As an adult in learning, I cannot go accident at the time. So sorry, I know you enjoy, I hope that you enjoy, but I cannot exceed the time. You respect to the host, they need to be doing the cleaning. They also needs to be doing something behind them. You want to do the job of thinking at the night, and otherwise. So any other question?
So for the what's the best time for dua?
Duha. In Singapore context, it's normally 8 a.m. That is the best time. 8 a.m. normally all of us at work. The advantage of if you are your own boss, this is the best of being your own boss. You're the boss. It's not that you're doing injustice to your worker, no. This is your. But you cannot stop your worker if they knew that you do the duha as a boss. I also want to do duha. You cannot stop and say, no. If you want duha, then what? I duha then. So this is the issue with us being the Muslim bosses. So you must know how to tackle and set the time limit for your workers so that they are able to perform the work at the same time. Make them come to class so that they will understand that they have responsibility. Because many of us, we forgot, we overlook that we have responsibility towards our employer. I mean, even whoever the employer can be, we did not practice that culture, unfortunately. Yes? Any other question? Ya, tunggu dah kat tangan.
Back to our topic of Salat. There's a forbidden time prayer, right? And where does it come about Qadha?
Where does you mean what? Where the qada prayer comes in, or when can you do qada? The qada in Arabic means you are not praying, as I said, salat waqtiyah. Salat waqtiyah means stipulated time based on the command of Allah, where Allah mentioned, Inna salata kanal mu'minina kitaban mawquta. This is a commandment. Allah says in this verse, Inna salata kanal mu'minina kitaban mawquta. Prayer has to be done at the stipulated time. The moment you miss that stipulated time, they call it al-waqtu qada. Because you are praying not at the stipulated. You cannot be lying to Allah. You pray subuh at 4 p.m. Suddenly for subuh. And the angel say, oh, you try to define it. 4 p.m. you say subuh. Then when asar. So this is a matter of term that we use in Arabic time. Because intention is not the utterance. It is what is in our heart. So the father came in is because of praying not at the stipulated time. If you want to be citing an hadith and waiting for Prophet Muhammad to say that if you miss the prayer, please qada. Like that, everyone will qada. There is no command stating that if you miss the prayer, you must be qada. This is where qiyas comes. You do an analysis. If you forget, if you sleep, Prophet asks you to redo. If you deliberately leave the prayer, then no need to do, is it? You understand the logic? That is the logic. That is why we need to do a qiyas. There is an hadith that the Prophet mentioned just now, so we went to. If you go and read again the text, you can find there's a mention there. Then the moment you miss the prayer, I mean, if you forgot, and when you remember, pray. That is why if a person sleep, you will not be punished if you wake up and pray subuh at 8 a.m. You will not be punished. But cannot be every day overslept. You want me to sleep or what? You get the point, yeah? It cannot be every day that you are not able to wake up. So if you really overslept, you are forgiven by Allah. It's not a sin. Allah will not punish anyone who is sleeping, because sleeping is beyond human control. If you don't manage your soul go leave your body, go Hong Kong, go America. So never come back in time to do the schoolwork. You wake up only at 10 o'clock. The soul come back at 9. Example. There's no mention of that you can be doing the qada for the prayer. But they do qiyas, they do an analysis, and there is from the hadith, if the Prophet said you must make up for the fasting that you did not fast, right? And the fasting, that one is Quran. Then Allah asks you to repay back on other days. See, so if there is a command to repeat or to make up the fast, why there is no command for you to make up the prayer? Right? Definitely there is. It's just that you cannot be finding an hadith. Prophet himself says, brother, if you cannot wake up, you make up lah. Oh, everybody wait. Even the scholars waiting for it. Kalau ada hadis kita senang, bangunnya dia dah lambat. Apa ya? Macam Nabi pun berita doang kau. So that is a lie. The Prophet did not say that you can. The Prophet says that you have to, not that you can. There's two different things here. Not that you can, but you have. Because you owe Allah. You owe Allah because you have to be doing the prayer at the stipulated time. Now you miss already. You cannot say that. Alamak, I miss only just like that. And you must do the better. Astaghfirullahaladzim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inna a'udzubika min qalbin yasha wa tasna tajba. ومن دعوات إليك استجاب الله اللهم أمدنا بالعلم وزينا بالحلم وعقلنا بالتقوى وجعلنا بعافية يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم إنا نسألك الفهم الجميل وحفظ المرسلين وإلهام الملائكة المقربين اللهم اعف علينا فتح العارفين وفقنا الدين وعلمنا تعليم وأهدنا إلى سواء السبيل اللهم بارك لنا في رجب شعبان وبلغنا رمضان اللهم بارك لنا في رجب شعبان وبلغنا رمضان اللهم بارك لنا في رجب شعبان وبلغنا رمضان صلى الله على سيدنا